Hi, everyone. My name is Colin Burns, and I'm a normal human man. I live in a city in the United States, and joining me today for this Bloodborne boss ranking is a much more famous and beautiful wife of mine. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Sara Kipin. I'm an illustrator and character designer, and I also live in a house somewhere in the United States.
That's awesome. You say you're an illustrator. You say you were in animation. Are there any projects that people might know you from?
Well, currently I'm working on the next Avatar series as a character designer, which is really fun and cool. So that's probably the most notable thing.
Wow, so you're like a legitimate, successful, talented, beautiful, sexy artist. That's cool. I guess that means that when it comes to ranking Bloodborne bosses, you might have a really good perspective to bring as someone who's both a gamer and an artist.
Yes, I'm an artist who has platinumed Bloodborne along with you, my husband. So I say we both have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I've definitely platborned. I've done that with you, before we were even dating.
Yeah.
We were just friends. We were just little gamer buddies. But we worked well together.
Uh-huh.
And something cool about me, I know you guys are like, rank the things. Shut up. Um, well, something cool about me, I'm going to brag on myself a little bit.
Okay.
I I have a degree in biology.
Yeah, that's true.
So the yucky elements of this game, I can really speak to. I'm not going to, but I could.
You could.
I feel like I have a deeper appreciation for yucky things. I also am a gamer. Great. So we have this tier maker here. Also, apologies if you hear our little funny kitty in the background. That's all I'll say about that. We have a tier maker here. We're going to be ranking all the bosses of the video game Bloodborne from 2015. This was a PlayStation 4 video game by the From Software company, regarded by at least two people to be a very good game. So there's a lot of bosses in it. They're all very difficult. We're going to be ranking them sort of based on arbitrary standards that we set for each one. Hey, maybe some standards will emerge as we go through this.
Yeah.
But okay, if you skipped ahead to now, welcome, because we're going to get started. But first things first, we need to make sure those ranks, are we happy with those?
Yeah, I feel like they have to be more specific.
Okay. Well, S is a very classic top tier.
I think that's like bosses that I love to fight and would want to have a save file right before their boss gate and fight for fun kind of thing.
Okay. Could fight every day forever. Maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
And then A.
Like just normal amount of fun. Like that was fun.
Okay, so like so fun in a normal style. Mm-hmm. B.
Normal, but I'm glad it's over. Fun, but I'm glad it's over.
Okay. Satisfying.
Yes.
But not iconic. Perhaps?
I think that might be for C.
Oh, okay. Satisfying, but not. I'm having trouble differentiating A and B. Maybe we should just get rid of B as a category.
Huh? No.
No? Okay.
I think B should be like good fight, smiley face.
Okay, I like that. Good fight, smiley face. C. So this
Glad
one
it's
is
over.
glad it's over. Not the worst. And then D
Blows
is
chunks. Is that bad?
I mean, I don't know if any of these bosses would make me.
We hates it, precious.
I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know. Maybe let's take a different approach.
Okay.
D is for kind of boring, or tedious, or like gimmicky in a bad way.
Okay.
So this is like just miscellaneous, bad for miscellaneous reasons.
Okay. Bad, I won't elaborate.
Bad, but I probably will elaborate.
Okay. Yeah, because we love Bloodborne.
Because we love Bloodborne,
Right.
and we can make excuses for any of these girls.
There's not a lot of bad fights, so.
So let's just start from the top and work our way to the bottom. Okay. Although that leaves the Merciless Watcher as the last one. So why don't we start at the bottom and work our way to the top? Because the Merciless Watcher, this is a Chalice dungeon boss fight where you have to fight 3 big Numerians at once.
I did not care for the Chalice dungeons.
Not good.
Yeah, no. Put them right in D.
Oh, I'm scrolling. I am so... Oh my God. Yeah, that goes into D because it's just a regular enemy, but there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And the Chalice dungeons, I have more of an affection for them than maybe you do, but they're not particularly engaging when you're going through 20 of them in a row to get to the final boss. Speaking of Chalice dungeon bosses, we have the Beast Possessed Soul. This is it's a beast that uses fire. How ironic, because beasts are usually afraid of flame. See, those are the kind of connections you can make with a scientific college degree.
I have to admit,
10 years ago.
I do not remember this fight. I think if I were to see him move, I'd be like, all right, that guy.
There's one of them in the non-Chalice, the base game. You have to like drop down a big tower. It's like a jumping puzzle almost, where you're falling. That's how you get to the real, I'm using air quotes here, real workshop with but if you don't go there and you drop all the way down, you get to the bottom, and he's just hanging out down there in the whatever. Okay.
I think I'm mistaking it for the goat enemies from Dark Souls 3 that are in the swamp.
In the poison swamp.
Yeah.
Well, let's not bring Dark Souls 3
Sorry.
into this.
Yeah, okay. D, because I don't remember him.
Because you don't remember it.
I don't remember him.
And
Forgettable.
for me, I don't particularly love medium-sized enemies that have a boss health bar.
Okay, fair.
Shadow of Yharnam. What are you thinking for Shadow of Yharnam? That's another 3 enemies, but, well, I guess they show up later. But they are unique at the time you encounter them.
I think I'd put them in C. I remember not really liking them the first time I played the game. And then after that, I was just like, these guys again. Can't wait to get past them to get to the next area. Yeah. You know?
They're gatekeeping Bergenworth. Yeah. Bergenworth's really fun.
Let me in.
They are challenging. I would say Glad It's Over is like the exact definition for Shadow of Yharnam because they're tough. Fighting 3 enemies at once in a Souls game is always a problem.
Right.
And they do cool shit. They look like ring wraiths, and at certain points snakes pop out of their friggin' robes, and then giant evil snakes start popping out of the ground and attacking you, and all that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So
yeah.
Dark Beast Parl.
I might put that one in B. I feel like it didn't leave a huge impact on me, but I love her vibe. You know, like big cat lightning skeleton. That's cool. I couldn't tell you much else about her, though.
So I am going to make a case that it's actually C. Okay. Because you could either get to her very early.
Right.
And it can kick your ass. Or you show up really late and find her really late, like I did on my first playthrough. And you just blow through her, and it's not a very challenging fight. Also, there's not a ton of lore around her. She's just like a skeleton. I mean, it is kind of a fun reveal when you see the pile of bones and it turns into the boss. But I would say there's nothing there that makes me think like, wow, what a good fight. It's just, it's more interesting than like a reskinned enemy. But at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, I think the lack of Dark Beast Parl stands kind of speaks to the fight's, caliber. It's no Orphan of Kos or...
Well, let's not tip our hat.
Oh, right,
early.
Sorry.
You're so beautiful. Dark Beast Parl, I would say...
C.
Yeah. C. And if there's any Parl stands that want to make a case for the Dark Beast, sound off.
Let us know in the comments.
Moon Presence. All right.
Oh, all right. I do love the Moon Presence.
The true boss for for one of the endings. Now, I think it's a good fight, but not a great fight.
Yeah, I'd say that. I think I didn't have any real trouble with the moon presence. So I don't think she really left a huge impression on me outside of her sick character design. So yeah, I'd probably put her in B. I feel like she doesn't hold a candle to some of the other bosses that we're going to get to in a little bit. So I think B is a pretty good place to put her.
Yeah, you also, just the nature of that fight, she's coming after you have the fight with Gurman.
Mm-hmm. The Gurman fight. Oh yeah, okay.
So there's strict rules about how we do these sorts of things. You're a little tired by the time you get to the moon presence. Mm-hmm. And then her gimmick, which I think is kind of fun, of like, if she gets her nasty blood on you, you can't heal.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I think the fact that you can't even fight her unless you've ingested or consumed or grafted all of those umbilicals into you. Mm-hmm, like, I like a secret boss.
Yeah.
So, good on you. And also, if you don't get that ending, she just makes you baby.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to put her in B.
Yeah, I like her vibe.
Okay, Mikolash, host of the Nightmare.
All right, I know you got a lot to say about this guy. I have high opinions.
So, I would say there's a pretty big disconnect between how fun the actual fight is and the imprint that this character has left on me, on the culture. I cosplayed as, or some say Cosm. I cosplayed as him for a couple years back, way back when.
Yeah.
I just love his story in the game. I like that he's he probably has a biology degree. Yeah. So I relate on that level. He's got a big cage on his head. He howls. He's so funny.
He did the thing.
I have to find his voice, but he's got a beautiful voice.
It's beautiful.
We can agree on that. Mm-hmm. And it is funny.
Should there be a Mikolash tier?
No.
Make a Mikolash tier. It's
I don't want to do that. The screen is already stretched, so I can't hold any more tears.
Okay, so.
But I will say, the fight's funny. It's funny that he just fucking runs away from you and laughs at you and goes, woohoo! And like jumps through fucking mirrors like he's Super Mario 64. Right. So I would say A, because the fight's fun. Okay. I wouldn't want to do it every day. But he's an A, and he's like an A plus because just a wonderful, wonderful guy. Also, looking at this list, he's one of the only human beings that you can like fight in this game or talk to, and he's just so fucking psycho. Yeah. If I'm allowed to use that word to describe him. He's like totally been cracked by having his brain rotted by a giant brain with eyes.
I like that he talks to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of the people you fight they can't monologue at you anymore. So it was fun hearing a voice.
Yeah, and he appreciates you. He's like, oh, a hunter is a hunter, even in a dream. Like he's like, ooh, he's like impressed with you. I don't know, whatever. Undead Giant. I don't think we have much to say. This is another Chalice boss. Yeah. It's a big guy that is just a regular tough enemy.
Put him in D.
Bloodstarved Beast.
Okay, they were kind of the first wall that I hit in the game. Bloodborne was my first From Software experience, so I was kind of out of my element a little bit, and the Bloodstarved Beast really left an impression on me because that was the first time that I like was really struggling. So I feel like I love that fight. The poison mechanic was really difficult to grapple with at first, but I felt really accomplished after beating it. So I'd put it in B personally. The Blood-Starved Beast goes in the B tier.
So I would agree with you that... God. Sorry. I'm saying oh God because our cat is obsessed with this cardboard box in the same room as us. So again, I know I said I wouldn't mention it again, but the fact that
she's
crinkling and nesting. Hey, maybe she's a bit of a blood-starved beast. Anyways, yeah, blood-starved beast at B tier. I think that works. I had a very similar experience my first time playing through Bloodborne. Oh,
ASMR.
ASMR. Let's just live in it. It's fine. Bloodstarved Beast deserves to be in B. I had trouble. I'm just saying it. I keep resetting. No, we're leaving all this in. This is gonna have like 20 views, if that.
Okay,
we're fine.
fair.
It was challenging for me. The poison buildup thing is a huge pain in the ass because you have to like farm antidotes.
Yeah.
So it can be tough for new players, but that kind of makes it memorable.
Exactly.
And it teaches you to either get good or kind of cheese it, or use consumables, throw oil, throw fire. For me, I had my axe my first playthrough, and I would do a double spin and knock it back, or I think that's how that worked. I don't know. B. Moving on. Vicar Amelia.
S.
S.
I love this fight. I love her. I think it was such a cool reveal. I love that she's a werewolf creature. I love her screaming. I love her boss arena. I love everything about her. Wish I could be her.
Wow. Okay.
She's my Mikolash.
I would have said A, personally.
Okay.
But I do think the vibes are impeccable.
They're so good.
You are working your way towards that church the whole first leg of the game. You get in there, she's all in white. Everything else in the game is so dirty and gross, and she's just there, and then boom,
Love a waif.
she's a giant deer-like
Wolf.
stretched out white wolf. The moonlit cathedral that you're in. Okay.
Sick.
The screams are great.
I think the boss arenas themselves are also part of the experience. So if you like the arena, you kind of want to revisit it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I
You're
think
kind of teaching me new ways of thinking.
Yeah, it's not just the person; it's the room.
So you're not just
exist
beautiful. You're also a genius. Is that what you're telling me?
You're so nice to me. Thank you.
All right. Keeper of the Old Lords. Now this is a chalice boss.
I'm squinting and trying to see what the hell.
He's ashy, and he's got the
flame.
6-eye skull
Right.
mask
It's
and the
in
witch hat.
He's in the Chalice dungeon.
and
I
you-
remember that guy.
So I think most of the chalice bosses are going to rank low. I'm going to give this guy a C just because I think his design is so bitch and sick.
Yeah, he's got a big hat.
He's got a big hat. He's got big flaming skull eyes.
I remember him.
You remember him
Yeah.
after you had to remember him. But then you remembered him once you remembered
to
him.
be fair, that silhouette against that murky background, it's not.
You hear that, Tier Maker? Your murky background did this no favors. Okay.
Ooh, the Thumerian Descendant.
Thumerian Descendant. This boss fight, I don't like it. I don't like the variations of it. I don't like the guy that throws the sickles like a boomerang.
Right.
I don't.
He's just
like
kind of
that,
just a random guy.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say something kind of controversial, maybe.
Okay.
The whole Thumerian thing, where they're like weird pale people living underground.
You don't like the Smeagol's in the sewers?
I wish we met. Well, I don't know. I wish we knew more about them. It just seems weird to have like an ancient civilization that exists only as mindless enemies.
Yeah, they have clothes. And I won't go on my church giant rant, but those guys did bring me to tears the first time I saw that they had hats on and little cowbells around their neck so people can hear them coming. But it's so redundant because they're big, so why would you need to hear them?
The church employs Thumerians, so I would assume you can like have a conversation with them because they are employed.
They hold walking sticks and lanterns.
It would just be like, it feels like it should be a bigger part of the world. Like people should be taught, like if I went to work and a third of my coworkers were like little green men from Mars, and that was just true everywhere, I feel like that would be a bigger deal in society.
Okay, so you're saying it's not like you don't like them, you just think they deserved more rights in the eyes of the game.
I just wanted to know more about them. Like, I get that they're ancient and they're like endlessly building the catacombs.
Their blood is the blood that kickstarted everything.
Well, let's not go down
Okay.
like the actual whose blood started things, because I think it's technically Ebrietta's, but Ebrietta's, the Mirians may have gotten her blood.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Look, this is the kind of conversation you have to have when you talk about Temerian descendant, because the actual fight sucks. So D. Now I'm gonna suggest something kind of controversial. I was gonna say, what if we start at the top and work our way down from here, or we can just go
Edge German.
I don't really want to do that. No.
Oh wait, that sounded worse than I intended. Sorry.
Yeah, that.
Okay, let's not Edge German then. Let's just get him over with.
Your verbiage is upsetting. All right, let's pop off with German. Let's just no.
German.
So you have no subtlety. See, I can be mean.
Hot and cold.
You beautiful genius. All right, German, the first hunter.
Okay. Do you have an opinion on him?
I, as a character, let's just go ahead right now and say, complicated. Bastard, yeah. So,
Freak.
So he's kind of like a grandpa. He was a mentor to a young woman. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that relationship ever got weird while she was alive, but he definitely took her people hunting for the War Crimes Church.
Right.
And she got real sad and killed herself. And so he used a monkey's paw off the god ape to, like, put her soul into a doll.
Right.
So that he could, like, be with it.
Yeah.
And he tells you can, like, use it. And he laughs like a little freak about it. So I'm going to go ahead and say, German, stinky old man.
Don't like him.
But when you refuse to let him cut your head off, and he stands up out that wheelchair that he's been in the entire game, and he has a cool scythe, that's fun.
It was cool. I liked that boss fight. I liked his scythe. I was jealous of it.
And hey, to your very salient point earlier, that boss fight arena with the little white flowers, so that when he's doing his little wind scythe abilities and the petals are going everywhere, that is quite good.
Yeah, it's a very well orchestrated boss fight. I love the burning Hunter's workshop in the background. And you got the moon. It's very thematic.
So I wouldn't want to do that fight more than once.
No, it's a very taxing.
It's very taxing. So, but I think the gravitas of it and the just everything leading up to it, how influential his character is on the story, being one of the first hunters, literally the first hunter, not one of. I'm thinking A tier.
Me too.
Okay, great. Plop. All right, Cleric Beast.
It's kind of iconic. I loved the first time I met the Cleric Beast. It's the first time that I heard the orchestral music swell after hours of dead silence in Yharnam with just screaming people. You know, like, it was the first time that you heard, like, music in the game, because the world map is just ambient, painful shrieks.
Yes.
So the Cleric Beast was a really cool fight.
Now, the Cleric Beast does do a lot of painful shrieking.
It does, yes. It's kind of like Vicar Amelia in that way.
Yeah, they're sort of similar if you really think about it.
Beast-like in that way. Yeah, Cleric Beast. I'd probably put it in like a B. You know, like good fight, smiley face.
Yeah, I actually, in my very first playthrough, I was climbing that big long ladder that you climb near the beginning, and I heard the Cleric Beast scream, and I was like, that's weird. And then fast forward a couple hours, I'd beaten German, I was running around Cathedral Ward. I missed the Cleric Beast.
Really?
Because it's kind of just optional and off, and you don't need it to do anything. And so I came back and I whooped its ass.
Oh, that was my first big boss fight.
But every subsequent playthrough, it's the first boss I fight, and it's really fun. I like the design. I like the fur effect of like how it kind of like traces behind everything. It just makes everything feel more punchy and flowy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say B for Cleric Beast.
B.
I'm even gonna put it in front of the Bloodstarved Beast.
Yeah, I'd say that. Honestly, the Cleric Beast and Vicar Amelia, that hair effect, it actually did a disservice to my other From Software game playthroughs, because I was so enchanted by like how wild that hair effect looked, and it made the bosses so scary because so many of them kind of had that like shifting silhouette. But then I would play like Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1 and even a lot of Dark Souls 3, and I was like, where's the hair? Where was it?
I don't know.
It wasn't there. There was no hair there.
Not a lot of hairy bosses.
To scare me with how violently their shapes were moving.
I'm really trying to think Dark Souls 3.
I think the Dancer of the Boreal Valley kind of had that.
But you know what? I've said it earlier. I'll say it again. Let's not talk about Dark Souls 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's right.
Living failures.
Me and the boys. So I'm sorry. What I was doing there was I was saying something that I find unfunny, in an attempt to be funny. So the Living Failures as a bosses is not very good in my opinion.
No.
Now that arena's awesome.
Love the sunflowers.
You've been in the sunflower world. You come outside. No, you've been in the hospital. And then you come outside and you're, oh my god, big, beautiful, weird alien sunflower thing. And then these guys start showing up and summoning meteors out of heaven to destroy you. Mm-hmm. I enjoy what they represent. I enjoy the whole research hospital area. I think it's really cool. But as far as a fight goes, I will never super be a big fan of beat up on like 4 guys and then just run and hide while a big attack plays and then go and beat up on 4 guys again. So I would say it's a C.
Yeah.
It's a C plus, but it's a C.
Yeah, it's a C. You can put it in front of the Shadows of Yharnam if you're feeling freaky.
I'm no longer feeling freaky.
Okay.
Like 30 minutes ago, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. And it might come back later.
Okay. We'll reassess the listings. Amygdala.
Oh, amygdala. That's what Patches says.
That's what he says.
I love amygdala. I know the boss fight's a little annoying, especially the Chalice dungeon one where you have half health and you're just standing under its foot going bap, bap, bap for like 10 minutes to just cheese it down. But the design is cool.
Yeah.
I like that its head looks like a morel mushroom. I like that it's got eyes in there. I like when the eyes pop out like a squeezy toy.
Yeah,
I like that it shoots a laser that has a delayed explosion.
I like that there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. Oh, when you get enough insight to see them and you're like, oh, they're everywhere.
Scary.
Just a super, super cool boss. Now, does it push it up to an A? I'm not sure. I think it's a good fight. Smiley face.
I agree. I actually don't really like the Nightmare of Mensis. Is that what that area is called? No, the Nightmare Frontier.
The one that's kind of sickly yellow daylight.
I don't like that area. I always kind of rush
But
my
you
way
don't like
through
the winter lanterns?
No, I don't like the winter lanterns. They're iconic. I love them. When I see one, they scare me so bad. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Why are we talking about other games?
Take notes.
Oh.
Sorry, I was shooting. Sorry. Anyway, so I didn't like Nightmare Frontier very much. So I think my amygdala reaction is probably a little more lukewarm because I don't like the boss arena too much. I don't think I'd have a save file outside of that fog gate. So yeah, B for amygdala.
B? Okay. Yeah. And, you know, those winter lanterns, they're not just iconic, they're echoic. They sound good too.
Ah, yes, they do.
In addition to looking good.
The blank stare on my face just now.
Yeah, you guys can't see it. I can. And it's beautiful.
Stop.
Father Gascoigne. Gascon.
Okay.
Father Gascon. I am the father.
Very good.
Don't patronize me.
I was being very serious.
Oh, well done. Shall we hunt?
Yes. So I don't know if you have any strong feelings about him. I think that was kind of like my first, like, oh, this is what a From Software fight is. You know, like the Cleric Beast was scary, and I was like, but Father Gascoigne, he like, it was another level of difficulty, I think. And I truly felt like I had arrived in the game when I was fighting him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I had to put on pump up music to fight him. I couldn't just listen to
What'd you listen to?
Gasolina by Daddy Yankee.
Okay.
Because his name is Gascoigne and Gasolina kind of it doesn't really match, but regardless, it worked. I
Father
beat him.
Yankee.
Yes, and now I if I'm having a hard time with a boss, I'll put that song on. It never really helps me, but it's kind of a tradition at this point for any Souls-like game.
That's awesome.
A
A?
for me.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were getting my attention. Yeah. Father Gascoigne is très bien. I think it is a really fun fight because he is your size. Mm-hmm. Well, he's bigger than you. But he's using hunter's weapons. He is like you. So you get a sense of like, oh, this game is fast. He's coming at me. And I'm not the first person to make this 10 years old observation at this point. But it does teach you. Now, I know I'm breaking my own rule here talking about other Souls games, but the Dark Souls games are pretty slow comparatively. Bloodborne is like, bam, 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 very quick.
Yeah.
Father Gascoigne is,
very quick.
I was going to say muy rápido, but that's Spanish. Hey, if you're French, let me know how to say very fast. Sound off in the comments. But Father Gascoigne is that. Mm-hmm. And then who doesn't love a transformation?
Yeah, that was really cool the first time it happened. I yelped.
And he's got his little daughter that you can find and do some like questing for.
Right.
And she gives you the little music box and you can play it and he's like, oh, my head. And then you can get some hits in on him. So, let's see. Cool fight that teaches you what the game's going to be like. Transformation and fun quest gimmicky stuff you can bring to it. More bosses should have ways of interacting with the boss if you do. I know quest lines and storylines aren't like the biggest part of these games, but
I got Moog Shackle.
Yeah, that's like the most that it ever is. Is like, oh, you get an item that temporarily inconveniences the boss, but like, I don't know, it's fun.
Cool that it was a music
it's
box.
Rewarding. Game design. I think A is fine. For me, he's a B plus, but I think A minus is also fine for Gascoigne. And I want to make you happy.
Thank you.
When we got married, that's one of the things that I vowed to do was make you happy.
Thank you for making me happy.
Oh, it's working?
Yeah, it's working.
Fuck yeah. All right, Lawrence, the first vicar.
I liked that fight, and I have happy memories of it because when you and I played it together, you had actually never beaten the boss on your playthrough, and so playing it with me, you were able to beat him, which was like really cool. So yeah, I have good memories of that fight. I think it's the lava trails in phase 2 are kind of annoying.
I think it's all throughout the whole thing.
I thought he like gets chopped in half like halfway through.
Oh, I thought he starts in half.
And then he puts his legs back on.
I don't think his legs are ever a factor.
No, because remember he's like on the throne.
Yeah.
And he's like Pieta kind of.
Yeah.
He has his legs. So I think at some point you do like kind of chop him up.
Do you chop him up?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I beat him one time and it was with you and that was like 5 years ago at this point. So, I agree that the lava part is annoying. Obviously, if I skipped him in my first playthrough, I did not feel super inclined to beat him. I think it's cool that it's Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's also just, he looks exactly like a cleric beast with lava effect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that he's probably like, for me, I mean, for me, he'd be like a C plus.
Yeah.
But I mean, is that fair?
Yeah, no, I mean...
Glad it's over? I mean,
yeah.
I was glad it was
Yeah,
over.
I feel like the first time I played it by myself, I just kind of fought him because he was there, and I didn't really understand the lore implications of him. So...
Elidibus was right about you.
Elidibus was right about me. I'll just fight and kill anything that a video game tells me to, but I feel like his boss arena was already used with Vicar Amelia, and she did it better than him, and so I think there was nothing that made me go ooh and ah about the fight. So C pluses I think is pretty good.
I think the thing that makes me go ooh and ah about it is the fact that it's Lawrence, and you've known who he is because this is the first DLC boss.
Right.
So when you were playing in real time and you were waiting for the DLC to come out, you knew who Lawrence was. You knew he founded the Healing Church. You found what presumably was his skull in the real world counterpart behind Vicar Amelia. It was like a holy relic of the Healing Church. And then for him to have turned into a cleric beast and to be burning for all eternity, I mean, it's spicy.
Yeah. I feel like because I played all of Bloodborne in one go, I didn't have that period where I was speculating and, getting excited and hyped for the DLC. I just played the game straight through. I killed everything. And you texted me and you were like, so what do you think that was all about? And I went, I don't know. I just killed stuff. So, I didn't have that, oh my God, that's Lawrence. I didn't have that moment.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, it's another cleric beast.
I'm going to go ahead and call you out as someone who didn't. I'm not going to say doesn't. But didn't read item descriptions.
No, because it was my first FromSoft game, and I'm used to normal video games telling me what's going on without having to read Jester's pants to find out the background of a boss. So,
I mean, that specific is goofy, but Jester's pants are in every FromSoft game.
So.
I remembered that you actually can't fight Lawrence until you get his human skull from later in the DLC. So he's not actually technically the first boss. You just can find him.
You can see him, yeah.
So, cool guy, C+. Congratulations, Lawrence. Watchdog of the Old Lords. Let's just save some time. This is a Chalice boss.
It was kind of fun, though.
It's kind of cool looking.
C+.
C+?
What were you going to put on?
I was going to put this guy in D.
Whoa, okay.
I don't like fighting it.
Okay.
It's either way too easy or it just kills you.
Right.
I like its design.
Yeah, I like that it's a big dog. But
I'll give it C minus.
Okay. I just think the design's fun.
I'll give it a C minus.
I don't think it's as wretched as the Merciless Watchers.
So, yeah, that's fine. All right. Yeah?
S.
Yeah, Lady Maria.
S.
S?
S.
I agree.
She's so cool.
She's cool.
I want to be her.
You want to be her?
I want to be beside her.
I think I would really enjoy taking on kind of a mentorship role with her. And
I'm side-eyeing so hard right now.
Maybe she can come with me to work where I vivisect fishermen who've encountered things beyond their ken.
Yeah, I love Lady Maria. That fight is so cool. I love how iconic it is, and in every Souls-like game, there's always a Lady Maria copy. So I love when I see her in other games. Love her boss arena. Love the clock tower. Love her swords. She's got blood swords, which is really cool. Colin keeps pushing my head closer to the microphone. Yeah, love Lady Maria. S. Girls go in S tier.
Yeah. In addition to everything you said, I like the cutscene to find her. I love that you're getting lore about her in the research hospital. All the ladies with the sacks over their heads that are like, Lady Maria, I am a robin. I've become an egg. They like her. They love her. She's clearly a compassionate, tortured individual. Hard not to fall in love with her.
Yeah.
And then in her fight, she stabs herself with 2 katanas, and they start bleeding, and the blood catches fire.
It's so
and that's
sick.
really cool.
I wish I could do that.
Orphan of Kos.
Okay, this fight was the most insane thing. I played the DLC on New Game Plus my first time.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so he was hard. I had a hard time with the Orphan of Kos. I hated that he was a big baby thing. I didn't like that he was hitting me with his placenta.
I loved all of those things about him.
It was but subsequent playthroughs, I have come to really appreciate the Orphan of Kos. I think the fight is insane. It scares the crap out of me. He's so violent and loud. I hate that he shrieks at me. It gives me the fight or flight response. Love it so much. I'd say it's an A tier fight. I really appreciate it. I love the fucked up like sun moon that you can see over the horizon on the beach. I love that, Kos is like beached on the beach. I think she's cool. I love all the snail women leading up to the boss fight. Love the Orphan of Kos fight. A.
Yeah. You said it, sister. A. I would add that I like how yucky it is. I like that he cries like a baby and an old man at the same time when he's like born. I like that by killing them, you're like ending the nightmare forever because this is the bottomless curse.
Yeah.
So yeah, really cool fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree it's not S just because he doesn't have that like sex appeal factor that I think the other S tier. I mean, and look at these.
I'm sorry.
But am I right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
You're right.
Now, this next boss,
Okay.
Ludwig the Holy Blade,
Ooh.
was the hardest boss in the game for me.
Okay.
And again, I also played through New Game Plus my first time. And the number of times you could get one hit by Ludwig is very intense. He has a phase change, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But for me, so tired by the time I got to phase 2. And then to learn... So something in these games is if something is a hard boss and it has phases, you don't get the chance to practice the later phases until you've beaten the first phase.
Right.
So it can be really hard to actually make that progress if the second phase is significantly harder.
Right.
So I fought this boss for a long time. It was my nightmare. I mean, I must have beat it like 30 times. I was like sweating and sick by the time I beat it the first time. So that said, absolutely some of the coolest shit in a FromSoft game.
Agreed.
Love the nightmare horse. Love the teeth. Love the eyes. Love that he looks like a horrible monster in the beginning.
Yep.
And then the phase 2 is a little bit of that humanity coming back. The Moonlight Sword, which has been a thing in all the FromSoft games, all the way back to King's Field, probably earlier. I don't know my history that far. But really cool fight. For me, I was glad it's over, but in an A way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that fight every day, but I have to just bow down and say that fight is so cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. It is a very difficult fight, but it is so iconic, and Ludwig's design is absolutely chilling in a way that just, it's so good and nightmarish. I also agree, put that guy in A.
So that's all the DLC bosses, I believe, which if we want to just look at where things have fallen so far, we have S, A, A, and a high C. So very good pedigree on the DLC. The Bloodborne DLC might be my favorite FromSoft DLC ever.
Yeah, it's really good.
All hitters. Now, Yharnam, the Numerian Queen.
Not a very difficult fight, but a satisfying one to get to once you've done all of the Chalice dungeons. Honestly, I'd say probably like a B. You know, like she's really cool. Love the vibe. Love her bloody dress. Love the whole like, imagery surrounding her. But it's not like a fun fight. It's just kind of like you kill her. So I'd say B.
Now this fight, besides Lawrence, this was another fight that I never did solo because we were doing this content together.
Yeah, me neither.
It's also most likely going to be the last boss fight you do in the game after all of them, because to get to her, you have to go through like 9 chalice dungeons. 9's probably an understatement. I don't know. I'm just going off the top of my head.
Right.
I didn't do research for this. I mean, what do you...
Vibes only.
Okay, thank you.
B.
B, sure, B. I think she's cool. I like her wedding dress.
Yeah.
I like that she's covered in blood. I like that she uses blood magic.
She makes clones.
She makes clones.
And you can tell which ones are not her because of the baby bump.
That's true.
Which is a fun detail.
I like that she shows up in the Nightmare of Marigot to, like, thank you for killing / freeing her baby.
Right.
And a lot of killing of weird orphans in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a childhood, motherhood through line.
Very, very, very thematic.
Yeah.
Yes. So, speaking of daughters, Ebrietas.
I love her.
Great fight.
Yeah, good fight.
My
Great
favorite soundtrack in the game is the Ebrietas theme. I love that phase 2, I mean, love is a strong word for this, but I appreciate that in phase 2, you just start taking damage consistently and you cannot stop it. So you have to kill her fast, which is hard because she's a 2-story slug woman.
Right. Yeah. No, I love her. I'd say either high A or S tier. I do like this fight.
I'm going to say A because I don't think it is the most enjoyable fight.
Yeah, that's true.
But her design, her music, the lore that she represents.
Put her in front of Mikolash.
I think it literally won't let me.
He won't move.
There
Okay.
Celestial Emissary. This is another kill a bunch of guys fight.
It's Living Failures.
I would say
1.
it's less interesting than Living Failures because
That's true.
there's less lore behind it. You've been fighting these guys as common enemies leading up to it.
Yeah.
It's just not that exciting.
No.
Marigo's Wet Nurse.
I love this fight.
Cool fucking fight.
Yeah.
Again, not my favorite, but an invisible, cloaked, long, alien-necked angel of death wielding like 6 scythes at once, or
really
sickles.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
And the wet nurse, so like, is there evil, invisible demon milk she's giving the evil, invisible baby?
Yeah, no idea.
No idea.
The name is very evocative.
It's
cool.
It is.
I love Margot's Wet Nurse. I'd say A.
A?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Iconic fight.
I agree. I think we're getting impatient here.
Well,
there's only 4 left.
Yeah.
Logarius. Now, this is an interesting fight.
Yeah. In
that it's very much, this is all based on vibes.
I know where you're going with this.
Okay. I wonder if you'll agree that this is where you thought I was going. I think it's a very Dark Souls style fight.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
For Bloodborne. Much like, not to talk about another game, but in Sekiro, when you fight the Demon of Rage at the end, it's a very Dark Souls fight in a game that's not. But yes, it's a withered old king, and he's wearing a crown. He's not actually a king, but it's a withered old guy with like a sword and sorcery. It's kind of fun that you're fighting him on a roof.
Yeah. Could
be cooler.
Snowy roof.
But Canehurst is a whole damn mood. It's a don't know why I said it that way. But I think he's cool. He's a philosopher. He sacrificed himself to keep Annalise, Queen Anna. Oh boy. Anyways, cool guy. I like that he uses like evil red skulls. Yeah. I like that. I don't know. I just like him. B. A?
Oh, I was gonna put him in A. I really liked this fight. I thought the roof, like the actual boss arena, was kind of tricky because it had all these different tiers and you could fall off, which was really annoying for me because sometimes I would dodge roll off the side of the roof. And then there was a lot of like clipping errors and like weird hitbox stuff that would kind of get a little funny, but overall, I loved this vibe. I love a snowy mountain castle. So his boss fight was a huge payoff for me. I'd put him in A. I really liked this fight.
Yeah, I will say, I think the run back from losing it was really tough.
That was a hard, corpse run, yeah.
And I'm going to just tell on myself a little bit here.
Okay.
But he does have a phase 2, and it's hard. But if you backstab him when he's transitioning, he won't actually go into phase 2, and you fight it easier, and that's how I did it the first time. The vacuous spider Rom. Now, she's cute.
Love her.
I like the way that she kind of rolls over and does like little yoga poses to attack you.
She's very kitty coated.
The fight itself is not awesome.
No.
But
I like what she represents. The fight's kind of easy, but like in a kind of boring way where you spend most of your time running from baby to baby and from teleportation to teleportation zone, hitting her until she disappears again, and then dodging some lasers and rinse and repeat. So I'd put her maybe in a B plus with Moon Presence.
B plus, wow.
With Moon Presence.
I would say I was actually even thinking like C, just because the fight itself is not super engaging.
Mm-hmm. Like but she's got flowers on her back.
You're just sort of running around dodging things. Her first arena in the lake is like you're just spending half your time just sprinting to get to where she's teleporting to. I don't love when a boss teleports away from me. And then the second time you fight her in the Chalice dungeons, you have no space and it's like really cramped and you're just getting hit with everything. So kind of glad it's over when it's over, but it's also not the worst. I mean, that is literally how we define that tier.
Put her.
You think
above.
B minus?
Yeah. I think like iconic
she deserves
enough.
that.
She deserves it.
The Witch of Hemwick.
Okay, I love the Witch of Hemwick. I think it's a really easy fight, super gimmicky, teleportation, all that stuff. But I love her vibe, love her eyeball dress. And I put her in a B. I put the witches in a B.
I feel like if we put witches in B, I mean, we have Shadow of Yharnam in fucking C tier. We're gonna say Witch of Hemwick's better than Shadow of Yharnam.
Okay, fine. Yeah, no, I'm seeing my standards shifting.
Yeah, you're getting more and more forgiving.
I'm getting very forgiving. Okay, yeah.
I think Witch of Hemwick is cool.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh my god, you have to play Bloodborne because there's this one fight where an old lady covered in eyeballs is invisible and you have to run around until you find her.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, you're right. I forgot about the...
So I'm bringing some criticality back to the end here. I know we're tired.
Yeah.
It's late.
We did this on a whim.
We did this on a fucking whim.
And we're like an hour in. Okay, The One Reborn.
This is like...
Silence.
The one that is just... I don't know. It's a cool moment.
Yeah.
The skies turned purple. You're like, what are these? What is happening now?
Yeah.
You get there, the moon opens up and it births out a giant gooey viscera guy. And it's kind of a gimmicky fight because the first thing you got to do is run up to the brain work. You have to run up to the stairs and the
like
balcony.
Yeah, that's the word.
The rim of the arena, there's little bell ringing women who heal it, so you have to go kill all of them. Meanwhile, he's spraying guts at you through like portals he can create. Lore wise, it's cool that the Mensis folks have somehow made something that's on like a godlike level out of their ritual, I'm assuming. But at the same time, is it that fun of a fight?
I always kind of forget about The One Reborn until it happens, and then I kind of have the reaction of like, who invited this guy? That's kind of how I feel about him. I'm like, oh, he's here now?
I think it's kind of a glad it's over boss. Where
I'm not excited to fight The One Reborn. I'm not like, I don't like him. I don't like it that much. Let's see. Glad it's over.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird place to end, but
it's okay. Hey, did you know you can get Star Wars Outlaws limited edition Amazon exclusive for $40?
$9.99.
Okay, so let's just take one last look.
Okay.
Because this is it. Once we're done,
We're locking it in.
this is it. This is it forever. We're never allowed to revisit or change our opinions.
Okay.
So, at S tier, we only have Vicar, Amelia, and Lady Maria.
That sounds really... Okay, but like A isn't bad. S tier is just like... I could fight this every day.
S tier is for the girls.
For the girls. S tier is for the girls. Human girls, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. The three that are on the bubble for me from the A tier are Ebrietas, Mikolash, and Ludwig. Those are all just such cool fights for different reasons.
Yeah.
Mikolash is just a great character.
Right.
Ebrietas is just cool.
Right.
And Ludwig is such a technical and difficult fight.
Maybe normal isn't like nice enough. Like fun in a normal style. Maybe like just say like it's really fun.
Fun. How about in a fun style?
Yeah, fun in a fun style. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's good. Are we good with the order in which I think Lady Maria should go before Vicar Amelia. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And then I think Ludwig actually is like
the best of the best of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna
You're just sneaking Mikolash in there.
Oh, whoopsie! Oh, oopsie! I think this is maybe it for me. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then we jump down to B. We have the Moon Presence, Cleric Beast, Bloodstar Beast, Amygdala, Yarnum. Do you want to bump Yarnum up just because she's so cool?
Yeah, she's iconic.
I guess.
Yeah, but she's not like that fun of a fight. So yeah,
I would maybe do.
Bump down the Bloodstar Beast. Put the Bloodstar Beast beneath Rom. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay. I think Shadow of Yarnum deserve more.
You think that they get the top spot?
But then it feels like a diss to Lawrence.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's not a great fight.
He's not real.
I would say, I think anything that's all of these bottom ones are all like enemies you can encounter.
Yeah.
And I think that really speaks to what I look for in a boss, which is a feeling of uniqueness.
Right. Okay.
So I would say this. The Witch is cooler than... I think the living failures are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Keeper, Watchdog. Then down here, I would say... Numerian Descendant at least has cool clothes.
Yeah.
Celestial Emissary is...
Put those Watchers at the end. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Our official Bloodborne tier maker list.
Hey, we did it.
We did it.
I can't believe that we did it.
Just randomly on a Tuesday night.
Well, don't give it away that it's Tuesday.
You're not going to upload this immediately?
Well, I guess we didn't say what day, month, or year it is.
Yeah, so it's fine.
No one has to know that it's Tuesday the 4th. Tuesday the 4th. March 2025 at 11:07 p.m. Oh, I gotta go to bed. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you had fun. I hope it was just like hanging out here in the office with Sarah and I.
Yeah.
We just do this every day. This is our life together. We have fun.
Smiling so big right now. Maybe we'll do other tier maker lists in the future and you can just listen along to us like a podcast.
Oh, that's a fun idea. Hey, what if you listened along and gave us views and likes and commented and Sarah and I could look at the comments and go, did you see what this person said? That's awesome.
Encourage us.
Or be like, hey, there's a bot that commented and that's kind of fun. I love when bots comment on my content because it's like, I don't get a lot normally.
It's okay. Love you.
We're done. We're done.
We need to go to bed.
Hey guys, go to bed.
Thank you for listening.
I don't care if it's 7 a.m. and you put this on while you're getting ready. Get back in bed. In the middle of the day, you're on lunch break, you put this on, find a nice quiet spot and just go to bed. Won't you?
Join us.
Won't you?
Next time.
Oh, we should have like a cute little sign off, right?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sarah.
And I'm Sarah's husband, Colin.
And we're so happy to rate these bosses with you. Goodbye!